Bankers know how to ruin everything. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. I also want to touch on gold. Let's begin. You may have heard recently that the CME is going to start getting onto Bitcoin, but it's not so straightforward. Investors who want to bet against Bitcoin's massive price gains can likely do so beginning in mid-December. When you can be able to short this product, I think sometime in the second week, December, you'll see our contract out for listing. We're talking about Bitcoin futures. The issue that I have with futures and the issue that I have with gold futures is that they're not real. They are fake. They are not the product you think you're getting. You'll see the price of gold on the futures market and it might be $1,000. So is that the value of the metal? Well, that's really just the futures. And that's where you have this real difference in between that which is physical and that which is paper. And people don't understand that. And so Bitcoin, of course, a little different. However, what's important to note is that this is cash settled. So you can't get your Bitcoin, even if you wanted it. So it has nothing to do with Bitcoin at all. Whether or not you like Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. This here is a fraud. It has nothing at all to do with Bitcoin. How can you short something that there wasn't even there in the first place? Nobody's buying the Bitcoin to then short it. Nobody is ever in the Bitcoin market. It literally has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Now you think about this, with all the gold futures that are out there, you total up the physical and then you see the futures, you see the paper market, and it's significantly more. How is that possible? How does that ever work? And the truth is that it's a complete lie, it's a complete fraud, and this right here is not good in any way for the whole financial market. And I don't know how this will affect the price of Bitcoin itself, because as far as I'm concerned, it has nothing to do with Bitcoin other than using the name. Look at this. Vontobel launches the first short mini futures on Bitcoin. So this is another company, it's a Swiss company, that's doing this. And it's just interesting to see the way that these companies are getting into Bitcoin, but not actually holding the investment itself, just going ahead and creating things on the paper markets that there's no real holding of that Bitcoin in the first place, or the gold, or whatever it is. Futures, I understand why they exist. For example, with agricultural commodities, I get it. But we're so far from that when you see that the paper markets are always many, many fold larger than the actual tangible assets. And agriculture is just one, but I like to look at the gold market, and now this new Bitcoin thing is here. It's just strange. I don't know why the financial markets are trying to get their noses into this when they're not even willing to purchase them in the first place. They're not willing to even have it be redeemable in Bitcoin in some way. It's not. It's a fraud. And that's what we have with all of these paper markets. Don't get fooled into this at all. Don't get involved in them, and you will be definitely better off. If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. Last but not least, if you found the video informative, I know you will find my books, The Money GPS, and my newer release, Global Economic Collapse, even more informative. There are links in the description below. Take care.